That's what they said, and but part of that is believing in the system.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you like, you used to believe in the system, like in laws, right? I mean, you said like, and I think actually Americans are more skeptical about our politicians and our laws and stuff, but if they tell you, and I mean, that just helps you with your ethical glass ceiling.
I think what it does is it enables people to lie to themselves because okay,
Right.
so
Exactly.
you get one of these jobs and you're required to do these terrible things, but what you say to yourself, and this is a bit like this has been with us a long time. Have you read Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment?
Yes, absolutely.
Um, so okay,
I love the Russians. I actually
so
had a
oh
Tolstoy quote for you that I
oh
wanted
oh
to
good.
share.
Well, you could farm me the Tolstoy quote in a minute. So I've really got into Dostoevsky recently, and I recommend him highly to all your lovely listeners. He's not heavy going like he's cracked up to be. I mean, there's a sort of people say, "Oh, Dostoevsky,
Well, it
he's so
depends on the
depressing."
translation. What translation are you reading?
Oh, I don't know, but possibly there is variation with translations. But I think he's. I don't know. I think the character of the novel shines through, regardless of what the. Anyway, so spoiler alert: if you don't want to know what happens in Crime and Punishment, don't listen to the next bit. Just fast forward. But the hero, the hero, or anti-hero, he bludgeons to death with an axe these two women. Now, I mean, that's about as horrible a crime as you could possibly commit. But he justifies it to himself on the grounds that it's a bit like Napoleon. Napoleon, in order to become the kind of the great imperial leader and reviver of France that he became, he maybe in the early stages of his career he had to do bad things, but ultimately the greater good would come of this. And in the same way, obviously we're not all Raskolnikov killing people with an axe, but we all do things to get on in our business, and we say to ourselves, "Yeah, but it's okay." A, because the team of lawyers say what we're doing is legal, even though in our conscious knows it's not. But B, the things I can achieve with my money, I can make my wife
Yes.
really happy, and marriage is really important, and I can give my children a really good education, and maybe even spare them the need to have to do all this filthy stuff
Or
because
they'll
I've done.
save the world. Now, I never fell in for that kind of thinking. I would never
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
But the idea that you had a fiduciary duty to follow the laws and a fiduciary duty to the shareholders, that you should maximize your position, unlike it comes from an adversarial process. But I totally agree with you. I actually used to call myself an anarcho-capitalist, but I had to just abandon that because capital itself has been corrupted. So
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because obviously part of my awakening was when I looked into the history of the creature from Jekyll Island,
yeah.
the Federal Reserve. And once you understand that the the dollar is printed by this private institution, which has deliberately devalued the dollar, so that a dollar in 1913 was probably worth about 99 cents. It's probably worth now about 0.00001 cents. What this does is create an environment in which all of us ordinary folk have to work so much
Right.
harder to just have to be able to afford a property, to be able to
Right.
afford to live. It's the already the dice are loaded against us right from the beginning.